It's not an easy thing to think about what we should do now, right? What do? Here we are, a room full of amazing Jews who are all feeling scared, lost, in need of connection. We have questions, we have worries, we have concerns, we have hope, we have faith, we have each other. We're learning things about ourselves, we're learning things about what we feel deep down inside, what resonates with us. We're learning about bottom lines, value of life, cost of life. We're learning about evil. So I'm just one guy that loves what he does because I get to be with you. And looking around a room and singing 95% familiar faces in a room like this is really touching. It's really amazing. And so for a few minutes, I'm going to just try and be a collective voice for us together, okay? But really, I just got off the phone with my brother in Israel. Just a show of hands, how many people have family in Israel? Okay. Show of hands, how many people have family who have been called up to duty? Okay, serious stuff, right? I was speaking to my brother just before, and the 12-year-old Gitti, or Chanalea, wanted to go to sleep in her clothes tonight because you have to get up in the middle of the night because of the sirens and go to a miklat, a bomb shelter. Right? By the way, in case I forget to say, I think that's a good exercise for us tonight. Go to sleep in your clothes tonight. Won't kill us, right? Go to sleep in our clothes. Some random form of solidarity. I don't know what that means to feel it, to get in bed with our clothes because we don't know what tomorrow brings, don't know what the night brings. But my nieces and nephews are going to sleep in their clothes tonight, right? And my other nieces and nephews that live down by Sderot their father's not there because he's been called up. And they're sleeping in the miklat. They're sleeping that's where they're sleeping. So I'm going to share with you a few things that are on my mind, okay? And I don't want to be repetitive. Everyone's got social media. Everyone's following all the news. Everyone felt really good today that Biden said what he said, but you weren't sure he was going to until he did. I just want you to know, the fact that we live in America today and we're not sure is the difference between your generation in America and mine. Because way back when, there was no doubt that whoever was president was going to stand up and talk like that. There wasn't a doubt in anyone's mind. Today it was a doubt in everyone's mind. Yesterday it was a doubt in everyone's mind. Where's America going to fall? And it made us feel good that it fell where it did. Yeah, even a guy like me, whatever it was, like I'm not leaning on America or politicians or anything, but okay, it felt all right. Felt all right to hear that. Of course, everything ringing your head of all the voices that are going to come against that, and it's going to awaken forces that are antithetical to those ideas. I mean, Biden's an old dude. If you haven't noticed, he's old school Democrat. Right? When I was a Democrat, that's why I was a Democrat like he was a Democrat once upon a time, because old school Democrats. And he just went back to his roots, which is like Israel's. It's davar pashut mo'od. Simple. Of course you stand with them. What's the question? But it's not so clear that your generation doesn't have a question. Your generation has lots of questions. So I'm happy. I remember being in fights with people during the election and saying, I think Biden would be good for the Jews as opposed to Trump. And of course you can imagine a lot of right-wing conservatives said the opposite. But listen, you want someone in the Democratic Party who's like old school Democrat. When push comes to shove, he's going to stand up there. He's going to say, you stand with Israel. And he quoted this story with Golda Meir. Everyone saw that? Everyone saw that? That was amazing. No? Wasn't that amazing? It was worth having an old president, he could say 50 years ago when he was a young senator. And Golda Meir said that to him. For those of you who didn't see it, it shook me. Because he was there right before Yom Kippur War, and they might have been surprised like we were just surprised. But they knew what's surrounding them, and they knew what it meant to be surrounded by Arab countries hell-bent on their destruction. And Golda Meir saw that he was ashen. He said that he was pale. Saw that he was getting a clear glimpse of the reality of what life is like. And that, then she says in her way, she's like, you want to go get a picture? Right? So she schlepped him outside for a photo op. Little Golda Meir. We could use her today, I tell you. And then she said, we have a secret weapon. He said, what? She says, we have a secret weapon. A secret weapon is we have nowhere else to go. Right? And I'm glad, I was worried, I used to be a speechwriter, right? A writer, like, I was worried Biden was going to say, no, you have America now. He didn't say that. That would be too arrogant, too chutzpahdik, as they would say. He didn't say that. He said, we're behind you. But he didn't contradict her. That ultimately we Jews, we have one place. That's what we have. And we have each other. So, this happened on Simchat Torah, on purpose, one of the many reasons for the choice of day. This happened on Simchat Torah. Let me tell you a couple stories. I posted one earlier today about young Hasidic boys that were thrown into a gas chamber in Auschwitz on Simchat Torah. Beautiful story where they sang a song, Ashreinu Matoy Chokenu, which means they were in the gas chamber singing, because on Simchat Torah we dance. Ashreinu Matoy Chokenu Manoim Gorlenu. How fortunate it is to be part of this people. How awesome our inheritance as Jews. And they sang, and the Nazis said to him, this death is going to be too easy for you. Why are you singing? Are you happy with this? It's too easy for you? They said, Simchas Torah. We're going to dance our way to the end. Pulled them out. That Nazi got transferred, and they were put back in the camp, and some of them survived. Wow. It's amazing. It's an amazing story. Another Simchas Torah story. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's a picture in the Lodz ghetto of dancing on Simchat Torah in the Lodz ghetto with a small Torah scroll. I've been back to that place with a small Torah scroll, and we danced there also. But the crazy thing is, we spoke to one of the children of the survivor, and they asked his father, you're a religious Jew, you can't take pictures on Simchat Torah. It's like Shabbat. How did you allow a picture to be taken? He says, because we thought it was the last Simchat Torah ever in the Lodz ghetto. If anyone could try and, I'll pause a second, people can move in a bit. What can we do? What can we do? There's only one seat over here. I don't think, Margaret, you're going to get very far. We got room for one. Seat for one in the front. Okay.
You're getting more seats back here.
It's okay. Huh?
You're getting more seats back here.
We can't move it. Margaret, we can't. We got to do it. I'll jump you quick. Okay. That's it. We'll do the best we can. Some seats. I see a lot of knees and laps. Yeah. Come move forward. Move forward. Okay. Shh. I'll tell you one more story of Simchat Torah. If this happened, you're not going to find any of these stories on Twitter. You guys call it Twitter still? It's just called X. I don't know, whatever. Okay? Shh. One more story of Simchat Torah. Because I'm telling you something. We are now experiencing, you people, all of us, we are experiencing a Shoah. I said this before, the pictures before were in black and white, now they're in color. And now they're in your pocket on your phone. Families murdered, blood on the floor, entire families wiped out, women violated, beheadings. I mean, we're seeing it all. Okay? So this has happened before in history. This is not the first time. This is not the first time. I'm in a town in southern Poland called Dukla, famous yeshiva town. We're walking around. One of the students' family came from there. We go scavenger hunting for Jewish history. We come across the old synagogue. The roof's caved in. We come across the old synagogue. The roof's caved in, but we see that the lawn is mowed. So there's a little sign on there. It's like the fence is new. There's a fence around. The lawn is manicured. Were you with me on this trip? Who's manicuring the lawn over here? So we look at the number, we call the guy. Well, the guy's daughter had a school project. And the school project was the history of the Jews in Dukla, what happened to them. It's a small town in Galicia, in the southeastern area of Poland, where the Jews were wiped out like every other place. And it was her school project. And the father got involved, and they said, you know what? let's clean up. Because most of the old abandoned synagogues, it's just overgrown and filled with vodka bottles and needles and whatever it is. This one was manicured, it looked like a football pitch. And we call the guy comes out, he says, yeah, we this is our thing. We take care of this old synagogue. And so I started asking him, like I do when I meet people like this, well, where are the things, where are the Jews' books? Where are their things? Where's their silver? Because I found a lot of stuff over the years. Anyway, in my questioning, it turns out that he reveals to me that he has a Torah scroll. Okay, it's a Torah scroll. I ask him to bring it out. He refuses because he thinks I'm going to steal it and take it away from him. Finally, we bribe him. I said, what do you need for your project? He says he needs lawnmowers. I said, great. So I got a bunch of Jewish kids with their parents' credit cards on the bus. I'm like, I can raise money for lawnmowers, right? I'm like, okay, I need a couple of lawnmowers. Who's in for the weed whacker, whatever it is? We got, swipe, we're in. We got the guy lawnmowers, weed whackers, gold-plated, whatever you wanted, right? And I said, I want to see the Torah scroll. Now, the story in Dukla was Simchas Torah. Same day, Simchas Torah. And there was a roundup, and that's when the action was. And the Jews were taken, the majority of them were taken to Belzik on that day. However, they decided to have fun, and they rounded up a whole slew of Jews on Simchas Torah, when they're dancing with the Torah scroll, to round them up and put them in the synagogue and burn it down. By the way, Jews were burnt to life. Okay? This weekend. Put in the synagogue and burnt down. And then when you know that story, you look up and you see the burn marks and the char marks, and you think to yourself, what do you hear in the walls of the synagogue? What do you hear? The screams we hear? What do we hear? The guy brings out the Torah scroll. It was not a full scroll. It was one parchment. Okay? I just want you to know something. Listen to the words the Torah says about the day that this happened to us. It says, V'samachta b'chagecho v'hayisa ach sameach. You will rejoice in your festivals. V'samachta, simcha, b'chagecha, in your festival. You rejoice in your festivals. Vayisa, and it's a strange thing. Vayita, ach, sameach. And you'll be, and this crazy funny word, ach, which says you'll be like also happy. It's a weird thing. It's written in a precisely convoluted way, because it's dripping with meaning. And it's a day which describes Simchat Torah, which is a day where there is going to be simcha, and this is the crazy thing, I'm saying this here, okay, you guys are hearing it first. The reason why that word is there is because you might not have thought that Simchat Torah shares the simcha of Sukkot. This word is telling you it does. I'm going to put that into new language for us. A day where it's hard to find joy is a day where we Jews are going to have to find joy. I'm saying something insane right now. Who's feeling happy? But when we look with the eyes of the time of the Mashiach, when we look at the eyes in the future that Jews have always looked to, that the world will be made right, that God's presence will be revealed, that justice will be meted out on earth, that the lion will lie with the lamb and swords will be beaten to plowshares. And everyone will know that Shema Yisrael Shem Elokeinu Shem Echad. Everyone will know justice, true justice would reign, and goodness and benevolence and all these things would reign. When you look to that, Vayisa Ach Sameach, there can be joy, even when you don't think there could be joy. The guy brings out the Torah scroll. It's not a full scroll. It's a couple of pages. I open it, the very first words on top is V'samachta b'chagecha vayisa ach sameach. It was a story of Dukla. It was a story that 75 years later, the only piece of Torah that's left was the verse in the Torah that they had on their lips when they were singing and dancing in that synagogue as it went up in flames. I'm just sharing with you what's on my mind. Okay? We're in this room because we're searching for response of what do we do? How do we do it? We take the battle online, take the battle to the streets. We do what we can as New Yorkers, right? How many of you couldn't wait to get on a plane and go back and help? Yeah, I'm ready to go. I know Amri's ready to go. Okay. By the way, there was a very religious Jew who went to JFK. You saw this? Yeah. $500,000. Anyone wants to go? Anyone in Miluim? Anyone who's connected? Paid for everything. Huh? So let me share with you a couple of insights because we're looking for what to do over here. Okay. So I'm going to tell you three things. Three things here. One is like this. We have to look at the illness And you're allowed to be prophetic. This is a crazy thing. But our sages, our rabbis, our history teaches us when terrible things like this happen, if you can try and be a bit of a prophet yourself and try and figure out what it is that you can do and what can inspire you. And I'm going to point something out here, very tragic and very painful. I have not seen with my own eyes sinat chinam, pirud, civil war about to break out in Israel like it's been in the last few months. Jews hating each other. Hating. There's no, any idiot who's blaming one side, it just shows how stupid we are. Sinat chinam at a level I have not seen. Whether it came with judicial reform, whether it came with whether or not you could be allowed to pray on Yom Kippur in Israel with a mechitza in a traditional way, a fight between, this might be normal for you. This is crazy. It was crazy. What's happened to us? We were tearing each other apart. The hate that's been, maybe in America we didn't feel so much, but you speak to anyone in Israel, there's been hatred at a level that we've never seen. And believe me, I'm there in elections and times when, when the Smolim, when they were writing, big pictures on the buses coming to Jerusalem, Achilanim Bayim, the seculars are coming, and this and that, and the fights. Okay, there's always been fights. We're Israeli, good. But this was a whole new level. How did we come to a point, Milchamat Achim, it was civil war? It was on the verge of civil war. How did we get there? How did Jews hate each other so much? I'll tell you one thing, we put an end to that one. Because what you're seeing on the flip side is something that maybe no people in the world can show. An achdut, a unity, a love. Because I'll tell you one thing, the mechablim, they don't care if you have a kippah, what it looks like, what mezuzahs on your door, who you vote for, you're for the reform, you're against the reform. You like a mechitza, you're this, egalitarian. They don't care. They don't care. Ki huzeh. And they're reminding us, and look at us packing a room tonight. Look at this packing a room, because we need a hug, because we're together. Lo mishaneh, it doesn't matter. We have to hear the messaging. I don't know, I can't tell you, I'm not saying why it's happened. You're not looking at a rabbi because I'm a prophet. I can tell you why, I don't know. But I know we've got to do something. There's a message over here for us. And that message, that clearest call, is there has to be achdut. There has to be unity and oneness. But not like in a political. I'm not interested in coalitions. I'm interested in love. I'm interested in real connection. I'm interested in looking at another Jew that this is your brother or sister. And I will die for you and I will do anything for you. And all of us can change. All of us can up our game. Doesn't mean you have to hate everybody else. And you know something? I'm sorry for the rant. Yes, these people are animals. There's a level of evil which is, it's no surprise. I've seen pictures of it in the Holocaust, and I know this is my business over here. I know what the Quran's been saying. I know what they've been saying for years and years and years in the mosque, what they've been teaching, what mothers teach their kids over there. But to see it happen, that's not just that it actually happened, but that shouldn't be where it ends. It shouldn't be because they're evil and then we're parv. We're just like, sea level. You can't be sea level. You have to be a Mount Everest of goodness, a Mount Everest of Jewish pride, a Mount Everest of Jewish knowledge, of Jewish life, of the Jewish people. Not just we're sea level and they're below sea level. I know they're animals. That doesn't define us, that they're animals and we're not. Am Nivchar, any person here gets aliyah to the Torah, you say, Mikol Amim, you've chosen us. God, what did you choose us for? I tell you what, we're also chosen for Auschwitz. That's true. And we're chosen for this also, because there's no other people in the world. It's the whole world's talking about us right now. But you know what else we're chosen for? We're chosen for greatness. There are two ways we respond. Okay? King David had an army. Yoshua had an army. The Jews have always had an army. And when we need to fight, we need to fight. But we never fight without God on our lips. There are things we have to do in the world of the practical, and there are things we have to do in the world of the spirit also. And if you only do one, it's one hand clapping, it doesn't make any noise. We need both, and we've always had both, and that's our strength. Our strength is in the sword, with the lips, with the mouth, with the prayer. We have to do both. And we're asking what we can do over here, so I'm going to be very clear, okay? You want to look for answers? Let's go back 1,000 years. Everyone heard of Maimonides? The Rambam, Maimonides? Maimonides tells us, in times of famine, in times of tzarot, what did they used to do? They used to blow the shofar. They used to blow the trumpets and get the entire nation to cry and scream out in prayer. And he says it's an incredible thing. He says it's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah when something terrible happens to cry out and to cry and pray. He says, you know why? Because you need to wake up. We need to wake up, and this is the crazy thing that we Jews, I'm sorry if I'm saying something that's overstepping my bounds, but I'm saying it. We Jews take collective responsibility. Not in the way they point fingers at us, like, oh, it's all Israel's fault because you're an apartheid and oppressive nation, whatever it is. No. We take collective responsibility because we believe there's a God of justice in the world. And we believe that we Jewish people are part of the yardstick of whether or not we're doing God's will in the world, whether we're a light unto the nations, whether we're doing our job. And if I tell you the things that the Midrashim say about the relationship between the sons of Abraham, the Jews and Yishmael, and when it comes to the land of Israel, it scares you because it's happening in front of our eyes. But we understand that we have a calling in both ways. Do you know what's going on the front lines right now? Do you know they can't make tzitzit fast enough in Israel? They can't make them. Because every chayal wants a pair of tzitzit to go in. It's unbelievable what's going on. In Tel Aviv, they're kashering all the restaurants. You saw this? They're kashering the restaurants. Every Jew should be able to eat there. Restaurants that would never have kosher food. Whatever it is, there's a calling over here. And we can't be afraid to talk about it. We can't be afraid to say, we have to do better. We can't be afraid to say that. In a simple way, just in the achdut, in the unity of what it means. Look what was going on. Look how terrible it was. In a deep way, in a personal way, how can I be a better Jew tomorrow? We have to think about that also. We have to help with our souls. We have to help with our hands. I have two things to share with us tonight in terms of what we can do with our hands, what we can do with our money, how we can help people. 300,000 Jews have been called up more than ever in the history of Israel because we don't know what's happening tomorrow. Okay? And we got to prepare for the worst over here. And they don't have enough equipment. They don't have enough things. It's not. I'm going to ask Omer to come and speak to it. It's not so simple. We need help. We're going to have 3 opportunities here. Okay? My cousin, I'll play this video for you. My cousin is, my niece, is on the front lines. Her husband's been called up. And she has a message for us. She did this for us. She's a big influencer. You can follow her, The Real Hadassah. I'll send it out. She's got, tens of thousands of... Kenny, the sound works? Can you turn it up?
In the south of Israel. Excuse the way I look, I've spent the day in a home shelter with children. We are currently barricaded inside our home because there are still terrorists on the loose, and our husbands they've all gone down to serve. 300,000 soldiers actually have been called up to duty, and the problem is that the army actually has never called up that many soldiers, and they don't have the equipment they need. The bulletproof vests that my husband and his friends are wearing is not going to stop a bullet shell they encounter one, and the unit he's in, he's going to. So I'm kind of panicking here and doing my absolute best to raise the funds needed to get them the bulletproof vests that they need in order to go into Gaza and in order to get out of Gaza and to come home to us safe and sound. A bulletproof vest costs between 2,000 shekels to 4,000 shekels. I know it's a lot of money, but I would pay way more than that to make sure that he is coming home. Him and all of the other soldiers that just don't have the equipment right now. So I know I just turned this tap on. I'm recording in a bathroom because it's the only quiet place right now. I know that you all want to help Israel, and I know that you all care about Israel, and I'm sure that there are other people that need you as well. But if this is a cause that you wanna take care of, you wanna make sure 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many of our soldiers actually have the protection they need from the bullets they're going to face as they go in to protect our people. Please donate. It would mean the absolute world because we really need it. Anyway, Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for donating, and thank you for helping us. We have never, ever needed your support more. Please do whatever you are doing. Please encourage more people to help us. We need you. We cannot win this one alone. Thank you.
Okay. By the way, the link for her is on the video there and up at the front as well. So you can donate whatever you can. It's the real deal. She's also buying, by the way, solar-powered battery packs because the soldiers are going in. There's no chashmal to plug your phone in, and you want to be able to communicate with your family. So she's ordered thousands of battery packs. Oh, it's on the table, this one here. Okay, great. Also, these are around for Hadassah and her husband's platoon. Omri, come and share. Omri is our in-house beautiful musician, one of the most talented musicians that I know, and has been part of this community for over a year now. And he really desperately wanted to go back. And I asked him to say something about his brigade and what he's feeling and what his friends are feeling in Israel. And also just saying for him as well. Oh, you want to put this on him? Great. You'll be able to donate. You'll be for Omri. You could just go to our website and Venmo the JEC. Any donations that come into us at Venmo, we'll give to Omri's platoon. Okay? Go.
All right. Hi guys. So as Rabbi Lynn said, I'm playing here jazz every Tuesday. But 5 years ago, I was a soldier in the Special Forces in Israel, in a unit called Sayeret Givati. I want to say, first of all, thank you to Avi Blachman and to Rabbi Lynn. They donated, I think, around $20,000 to my team in Israel to get...
we raised, not the...
raised.
I wish.
They raised $20,000, which is amazing. My team right now are in the borders. They're training because it's going to be entrance to Gaza in the next couple of days probably. And everyone is working hard and trying to train and trying to be as strong as they can. We have, as they say, 300,000 people going back to serve, and we have they have lots of logistics that they need. They need also like just small things like candies, coffee, things to have just to enjoy and to be able to let go of whatever is happening. So every donation that you can do will be amazing. I think that whatever is going on right now in Israel, you know, my friends are over there. My old commander got killed yesterday, and a couple of friends from the military got killed a couple of days ago, and lots of people are dead. And I think that everyone here, like, are part of it. You know, even if you're not from Israel, it's a Jewish thing. They're not killing Israelis; they're killing Jews, and that's an important thing. And even if you're far away, the only reason that your parents from Russia came to the United States of America instead of Israel, that's the only difference. If you've been living in Israel, you will be the target, and you're a target here, but they're far away, so they can't do. But we're all in the same boat here, and we need to understand that we need to get to a point. I think that everyone feeling sad for someone that died and they don't even know. It doesn't have to be someone that is. It doesn't have to be your mom or your sister. Even if you don't know the people, we're all feeling the same feelings, and we need to. And I think that the help that we can do from here is, as Rabbi Lynn said, is donations. And also explaining around the world what's going on. Some people are like supporting Hamas and think that it's good, but they're wrong. The same way that people supported Nazis, German, and the same way people supported slavery. It's the same thing. People are wrong and they're misleading, and we need to help them realize the truth. So I think that that's what we can do from here. I was thinking about going to Israel, but I was injured in the army. I can't I can't do service anymore. I'm not combat anymore, but I'm doing whatever I can from here. Donations to my team, whatever. So everything that you can help donating, my team as well, will be incredible, and we're here on the same boat. And the situation, by the way, in Gaza is it's way worse than we see on the news. It's like there is trucks, refrigerated trucks filled with dead bodies of Israelis and soldiers, tens of them going from Gaza back to Israel. The amount of deaths, the amount of babies, the amount of kidnaps, the amount of rape that happened in the last couple of hours is in levels that you can't even imagine. And that's what's going on. But with mutual will from all the Jews around the world, we're gonna beat this thing. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. A couple of things right now. And we don't know what's going to be. We don't know what tomorrow's bringing. We don't know what tomorrow's. The ground invasion, by the way, the reports that those of us who have more of an inside track are getting, like Omri said, unfortunately soldiers are dying at a very serious clip right now, and you don't even see that on the news yet. Okay, because the ground invasion hasn't started, but there are already many forces that are already inside Gaza. It's an unofficial. The ground invasion will probably start tonight, and the numbers are talking about like our boys, like kids going in, like we all got to get there, deep down inside. I tell you one thing, okay? Hamas has used the telephone, this stupid phone, to terrorize a nation. Okay? So just like we have to look at what they do, what we've done before, Sinat Chinam, you have to look at the weapons they use. The weapons they use are this. Right? And I don't think the weapon in this, which is for good, is Twitter, is tweeting more and having some sarcastic fight with some pro-Palestine. I don't know. That's not going to work. Okay? You can give money with this for sure. Okay? You can be noseh ol im chaveiro. You can use this to make yourself cry and to feel it, because you can see things and you can be connected. Olami is about to launch. We're about to launch where we have ability to give you the name of a soldier that you can text and you can speak to and say, I'm doing mitzvot for you. I'm giving charity for you. I'm going to learn Torah. I'm going to put on tefillin. I'm going to keep Shabbat. I'm going to eat kosher. I'm going to do this, whatever it is. I'm telling you, those things to someone who's going into Gaza right now means the world. We'll be sending that all out with names and people and their numbers that you can contact. It's the real thing. And many of you will lose your, I hope not, hope no one does, but it's likely that you may even lose the person that you're in connection with. Okay? We're going to do two things right now. My wife Ruthie is going to give a class downstairs. If people are having a hard time coping with things, we're limited to space downstairs, but if people really want to talk to my wife is a therapist, my wife is a mommy, okay? And my wife grew up in Israel, and to help people to talk about things in that way downstairs. And on the page, on the table, we have something called Tehillim, right? Psalms. So up here, I'm going to explain them, and we're going to say them a couple of them together, okay? Because this is what you look at the videos. This is what the Chayalim are saying when they're going in. These are when I'll explain what they are and why we do it and how it works. And then we'll come back together for Atikva. And then I stay and talk, stay and say how you're feeling, express yourselves. Like, it's okay. Everyone in this room is family. And let's use this beautiful moment that we have together, because it really is gorgeous that there's a room of us that care like this. And I wish it wasn't because of that brought us here together. Okay, but we're going to turn darkness into light, because without darkness, there's no such thing as light. And we've done it before. And you should know the word Israel, I just have to say this to everyone. The word Israel, Yisrael, means, this is the name that Jacob was given when he wrestled with the ministering angel of Esau, which represents all the warring factions of the world that come against us. He wrestled with this angel till dawn. And the angel said, I need to leave because the dawn is coming. And the dawn always represents that day, the end of days where all is clear and all is good. And this angel of death, in a sense, this angel of the force that comes against the Jewish people to kill us and destroy us and to maim us and to do exactly what we've seen with our own eyes, which hasn't been seen since the Holocaust. That angel needs to leave, because that angel doesn't belong in the time of the dawn. It doesn't belong when truth prevails and God prevails. And the angel says, let me go. And Jacob says, I'm not letting you go until you bless me. If we want to know what we do with times of darkness, there's one answer that Jews have answered since time immemorial, which is that we turn it into a blessing. Do not let go of that until it changes me, until I can look at it and say it was a blessing. I've turned it into a blessing. That's what Jacob says. I'm not letting you go until you bless me. And the angel blesses Jacob and names him Israel, which means you wrestle with God and prevail. And wrestling doesn't mean go against God and prevail. A wrestle is an embrace, and we struggle. We struggle. But the other play on the words of Yisrael doesn't just mean to struggle with God and prevail in a good way. I struggle. Where are you, God? Where are you, Hashem? How do we understand this? Why do we go through darkness again? Why are our children taken? Why? We have that question. It's not a new question for any Jew. But we prevail because when you flip the word, it says Yeshar Keo, which means that's the straightest path to God. We Jews have an inner lane, inner lane, direct lane to God. A direct lane to find meaning in the madness, to find light in the darkness, to turn horror and terror into blessing. We can't let go until we do that. Okay? Each one of us can up our game as Jews. Whether it's opening a prayer book, Shabbat candles, whatever we do, everyone, to learn more, to study more, to be connected more. Wouldn't it be amazing if tomorrow everyone in your office, by the end of the week, noticed a change in you? Not just because you're depressed, a change in how you act, change in your behavior, change in your goodness and your kindness, a change that you leave the office on Friday afternoon for Shabbat because the sun's going down, a change because we change the way we connect, not just the Israeli flag on the desk tomorrow, but in a way that changes us deeply inside and keeps us there. That's what we have to think about. Because none of us, we're not getting on a plane and joining the army. They're not going to take you tomorrow. But Hashem's going to take our prayers, and He's going to take our love, and He's going to take our mitzvot. And that's what we can do. Okay? So I'm asking if people would like to go downstairs. Let's go downstairs right now. Everyone else, just in one moment, we'll do a couple of Tehillim together, and then we'll come back together. Okay? Okay. Am Yisrael Chai. Chazak u'baruch.